Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Yes, this is the Toucan Mall in Amelia's One, Mackenzie, Linden, for all of your needs. Yes, literally, you can get pretty much most of it would be made right here. Entertainment and relaxation, and food and all the things that you would like to have. Very good afternoon, very good to all of you, wherever you might be across the world, across the ocean, on the land, in the air, wherever you might be. A very good evening to all of you and to all of the folks who do celebrate Thanksgiving, including my operator. Happy Thanksgiving Day. I hope that you enjoy your turkey, be it real gobble gobble or veggie gobble gobble. Right? So I know some of you probably at dinner and you don't want to watch the program, but whoever is not watching the program today is gonna miss out on some good stuff. Right? You have the turkey, and Miss A has the stuffing. You cannot eat turkey without stuffing. You cannot eat turkey without sweet potato pie. You cannot eat turkey without nog, whatever you call it. If it's eggnog or milk nog or whatever nog. Thanksgiving, eggnog, turkey, uh, what else? What else, Miss A? Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, and family, right? Lots of families get together, lots of persons will have traveled all over the place to reach their families, and I wish them all safe journey and, you know, happy dinner, happy eating, right? Don't eat too much though. And remember that there is life after Thanksgiving. Yes, there is. And also, if you have concerns like hypertension and diabetes, eat sensibly. If you have problems with obesity, watch how much you eat. Unless your name is Oliver, because he eats anything and he doesn't gain weight. So, once again, happy Thanksgiving to all of you beautiful people out there. And if you have a birthday today, happy birthday. Esther Ann, it's not your birthday, my dear, but happy Thanksgiving. And I want you to enjoy your turkey day, even though you may not be eating the turkey. Well, I hope not. Now, even though we have, all this stuff happening, don't forget that there are viruses out there, and be cautious and concerned that you don't expose yourself to someone who can transmit, right? So what you have to do, and Miss A is going to make this mask, right? This is a mask that I designed for her. This is my operator, Miss A. I don't want to tell you Miss A what it means, but Miss A. Miss A, I designed a mask for you, right? That you can make and you can sell. And I know a seamstress who can make it. Okay? This mask is going to allow you to eat without taking it off. Right? And when you close your mouth, you're not going to see there's a slit there. Okay? We're going to put a zipper. Right? You notice some people who need to zip their mouths? We're going to design this mask with a zip. Right? That way, when you're ready to eat, when you are ready to eat, right? You unzip, right? And you're gonna be able to eat your food or drink your drink or whatever it is, and then when you finish, you zip up, right? To eat or drink, unzip. When you finish, zip up. Okay? That way you don't have to take off the mask and um, uh, you won't be exposed to the existing viruses and so, right? Now, remember I told you guys that uh, this virus is not going to go anywhere. Remember me saying that a long time ago? Well, prepare because it's not going anywhere. It's going to be around, okay? What we're finding now is the evidence of those who have been vaccinated having full-blown coronavirus, having the ability to transmit the virus, and are sick and don't even know that they have the virus. I find that in the last month, I've screened and found maybe over 45 to 50 people with that problem. Some of them. No, 50 is more. 50 would be 1 week, right? Maybe 2 weeks. 52 weeks. The last month, over 100 people were found who were vaccinated to have had the coronavirus full blown and are transmitting it and don't know that they're sick or they're feeling sick. They're feeling sick. And when we screen them, we are seeing a whole host of problems, a whole host of viruses, a whole host of streptococcus bacteria, and other things that they probably never had. Right? So where are these other things coming from? These other things, I don't want to name them because I don't want to be censored. They will censor us if we say things that are to educate you. Right? They will censor us, and we don't want to be censored. We want to get the facts out there. Now, these persons who are not vaccinated, I had a good example of this this week on, the same week. Those who are not vaccinated, who are associating with those who are vaccinated, are picking up everything that the vaccinated people have. All the viruses, all the bacteria. And I know because when I asked them, where were they? Who were you with? But everybody that we were with was vaccinated. They were vaccinated. Oh, really? Yes. And what we find when we screen those who have been vaccinated with those who are associated with them who were not vaccinated, the unvaccinated had the same viruses, including Ebola, from the vaccinated. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing, right? But yet still, people are going to say, "Oh, that can't be true. It is, it's the wrong theory." I don't want to call it name theory. It's the wrong theory, and it can't happen. And Dr. FC says it wouldn't happen. Right? Wrong. I have the evidence. I have the evidence that those who are vaccinated are transmitting more than those who are not vaccinated. Amen. So all the things that were said in the past that were said to be something theory are now living out. And the doctors around the world who are dealing with that situation are speaking out. Right? So, I'm not saying you shouldn't be vaccinated. I'm not saying that, don't take me wrong. I'm going to spend too much time on this. But be careful. You need the mask that protects you properly. N95 mask, that one can protect you properly, or a mask of its equivalent that can protect you because the fibers are very, very close and nothing can really pass through your hand except your ear. viruses are very small, right? You can't really see a virus. Just like you can't see air, right? If anybody can see air, then I want to make it. You can see what is in the air, like smoke, or maybe something that has substance, but you can't see air. You can't see You can't see a virus with your naked eyes. You have to have eyes like an eagle, maybe, or more, to be able to see those viruses with a naked eye. I'd love to have a naked eye. I'd love to have it. I can see like long distances. I can see something. But don't give me the feeling though. I won't be born in it. You know what? I don't want to serve you for no time. Don't worry. Alright. Here's a problem. And this is a problem I spoke about many times ago. And I know today we're going to take some calls, right? I want my operator to be fair because I wanted to take some calls from you guys who got a more higher up. Okay? Here's the situation. We are fine. Forget about the coronavirus now. I'm going to find that. We are finding more and more and more and more persons infected with sexually transmitted diseases. More and more persons finding infected sexually transmitted diseases. Seriously, not just young, but young and old. Young and old. Okay? And I'm serious. It's something that needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed, and it needs to be reckoned with or dealt with. Okay? I'm saying to you that you need to have a thorough examination of your partner before you put anything in here. Even a kiss. Even a kiss. Seriously, because the persons who are transmitting viruses and bacteria with their saliva. And when you kiss them, guess what? You may destroy some, but you're going to get some. Okay? There are persons who are not aware that they're infected with anything. And they're going about their business normally, but those things that they're infected with are taking a toll. And at some point, it's going to be felt. It's going to be known. You know, for instance, you've got people who are having discharges, vaginal discharges. And they're big. They're big in age, like in the 60s and so. You can come down with that. 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, teens. And the doctors are saying it's normal. It's normal to have it. It's a process that is normal and it's acceptable. Don't buy that. If a doctor tells you that the discharge is normal, I say it over and over and over. Tell them they need to see me. So we can fix it, help them to fix it. If they want to fix it. Because if you don't fix that discharge, you're going to end up a victim of circumstances. You're going to become a victim. And you may or may not live to tell about it. Male and female. It's not easy out there, my friends. Trust me. It's not easy out there. It's not easy to find somebody clean out there. So all of you who like to put your things where they don't need to go, unknown, You don't know what's happening there? Think again. Okay? Think again. Next, there are persons who are walking around with hypertension and diabetes and have no idea that they are. They don't even check their pressure. You ask yourself the question, anyone who's listening to me, when was the last time you checked your pressure or your sugar? When? When was the last time you checked your blood pressure or your blood sugar? When? Oh, let me say pressure, not sugar. When was the last time you checked your blood pressure and or your blood sugar? You probably never did. Some of you. Some of you may have done it last year or maybe early in the year and didn't do it again. Check. Once per month, check. From the teenager all the way up. Once a month, check. Okay? You're having a pain in your neck, you don't know what it is, check your pressure. It could be high, it could be low. You're having a headache? Well, it could be also. Could be. Check your pressure. Okay? Urinating frequently? Check your blood sugar. Could be elevated. You gotta get up all night, 5-10 minutes, check your blood sugar. Could be that. Could be a prostate. Could be urinary infection. Could be a number of things. But not too many. The point is, when you're experiencing these changes that are not normal, that are unusual, you need to have an examination done to determine what it is. And don't wait for it to become a bad thing. And then you're going to run and then it's too late. I'm giving you guys serious counsel here. Take my stupid advice. Take your life serious. There's only one time. One time. People blame everything on stress. I'm so stressed out. I can't pay my bills. I can't note, I can't pay. They're going to repossess my car. My house is behind in 6 months. I don't know what the bank's going to do. Listen. If you really are in a bind, worrying about it is not going to fix anything. Take my advice. You stay home, what's happening to you financially. It's not going to change it. God is not going to come up and say, okay, you have a problem, here's $1 million. God will have to do nothing, people. If God would have done that physically, he'd because so many people are in debt. So many people are lazy, don't want to work. And they wish they could get some easy money. So many people are sick and can't go to work, but I think God tell them first. Those think they will get the first. Right? But worrying is not going to fix it. The best thing to do when you have a circumstance or a situation like that is the bank. You make an appointment, you go to the bank. Say, banker, look, I know I owe you, I know I need to pay you, but I don't have a job at the moment, and I don't want to leave my house. Is there any way we can work on a situation where you could give me 3 months more, or you can reduce my payment temporarily, so I can have some money coming towards my payment without having to think about you coming to take my house? Yes. Remember, the banker is also human. It's not a machine yet. We got machines in the bank, yes, but the person you can talk to is not going to be a machine. It'll be a human who can listen to you and reason like you. And as far as I'm concerned, I would go to female banker. Right? I go to the female banker. I prefer to be with a female banker. That's me. If you're a man and you're not like me, or a female, you're gonna be up. If you're a female, deal with a male banker. My suggestion: if you're a male, deal with the female. You know what? Opposite attracts. And when you go to the opposite person, they may say, "Well, you know what? I understand." But listen, you said 3 months. I want to see something happening in 3 months. And go out there and try and make something happen so that you can meet that obligation that you just committed to. The bankers will listen to you. I'm telling you, they will listen to you, right? But don't sit at home and worry and think God is going to drop in your lap the car note or your house note and you're going to make it. You don't, God don't work so. Very, very seldom will you stumble across somebody like that. Very seldom. So don't, listen, stop worrying. I wish I had a bank that I could know that you are honest and you're trustworthy and I don't have to send the police behind you and I give you the money to I'll be reasonable with you and then keep your obligation. You need to be able to go on board. You know why the society became the way it is? Because people, if you say you're gonna do something like that, you keep your word. You know, if you promise the banker $100 in 3 months, you're gonna make the $100, and you only end up with $70 or $80, you go to the bank. Said, look, I promised you this 100, but I still ain't working yet. But I was able to scrape up 70 or 80. Please put it on my account. Don't ask them, can you? Please put it on my account and let me go there and find the other 20 and come back. Keep your word. The best thing you can do is keep your word. Don't keep your word, they're gonna say, you know what? Next time you come back here, you're gonna do it. And then you're gonna make it hard for everybody else. Same thing with your blood pressure. Sitting home and worrying about your blood pressure and your blood sugar is not gonna fix it. Go to the doctor. Go to the clinic. Because if you don't, the next thing you know, you have an aneurysm or stroke or something. Then somebody, why didn't you go to the doctor? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought I couldn't get over this thing. And your mouth twists up, and your hand can't, and your foot can't drag because you didn't go to the doctor, you didn't go to the clinic. How many of you did that and then not this way? You have to take your life, take charge of your life. Take charge of your problems. You have to take charge. You have to confront them and deal with them. And it's Christmas time coming, right? I promise you I'll have a fun recipe on next month again. Next month, right? You have to try the recipe and I can make it down for you. And get you the veggie pepper pot, the veggie garlic chunks or garlic. I don't want to see pork garlic chunks. And maybe the black cake. Can't give the black cake, she could do money. I like coffee too much. Next thing you know, the black cake left on the market. They are selling the black cake. And you go, this is my recipe, I came up with this thing. How this thing tastes so good. Girl, I just imagined this recipe, dream of this thing, and I put it together. That's how I got this thing. Recipe. Right? You might be making a cake though, but tell the truth. Okay, because if you make the cake the way it's speed when you try it. There are certain other persons make a very nice cake, and it's a little better than the own, but I'm gonna tell you something. People want to see pits. You might take it and go with it. Right? But listen, holidays come, holidays go. And you all set goals. I won't get to that. You all set goals that come next year, I can lose 100 pounds, or 50 pounds, or 20, or 10, or 5. I can lose this weight by next year. Next Christmas, you're going to catch me with all this weight. Promise me, watch and see. Next Christmas, you get more weight than you have. You get more weight than you have next Christmas. Right? Anyway, listen, I have a video I want you to see, and then we're gonna use the phone and take some calls. I know you all have questions you want to ask, and my intention is not to hurt anybody or to, it's just to help as much as I can. I want to help people to get better, to feel better, to look better, you know, and to be able to enjoy a healthy life. After all, what sense it make you punishing? You can't even walk. You can't even put your hand up. You can't raise up your head. What sense it make living on you like that? No, it don't make sense, man. Right? So I want you to take a look at this video and you look at it. I just think it's good information. Okay? It's something that has to do with the news about it. Not our local news, but it should edify you a little bit more. And remember, uh, I'm not talking against vaccines. I am talking against lots of things that go with it, right? So you stay tuned, watch the video, and then I come back. We're gonna talk a little maybe, and then I'll take some calls, answer your questions, and see how much we can help persons to overcome some situation, right? So my opinion, please play the video.
Boris Johnson has just announced that unless you've had your booster dose, you are no longer considered fully vaccinated. He also announced that the UK may go into a lockdown around Christmas unless people get their booster doses. Israel has done something similar. You cannot enter their country unless you've shown proof of booster dose. They also do not consider a person fully vaccinated on their COVID passports unless they've had 3 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Both the UK and Israel are pushing booster doses because they've seen that even with high vaccination rates, COVID still spreads. They don't have the unvaccinated to blame. So now they blame it on the under-vaccinated. And what's more, they have no data to prove a booster dose stops the spread of the virus. It's too early to tell. The virus waned naturally in Israel, and we know this because it waned at the exact same time and in the exact same way in unvaccinated Palestine. And it likely will wane naturally in the UK as well once winter passes. We'll just have to wait and see. Meanwhile, news report after news report of fully vaccinated people getting COVID continues to pile up. Sure, we all heard about unvaccinated Aaron Rodgers getting COVID, but his one case was outnumbered by the vaccinated COVID cases like Jen Psaki, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti, 4 members of the Sixers, and now 44 members of the Cal football team, all fully vaccinated. This correlates with emerging studies showing waning efficacy from the very little efficacy the vaccines had in the first place in stopping transmission, hence why boosters are being pushed. Now, I can't say it enough. The vaccine makers never claimed they stopped the spread. They never marketed them to do that. They never tested them for that. The number they gave us had nothing to do with transmission, only severe disease. It was the media and politicians trying to ease the minds of a frightened public who just wanted to hear about a quick fix to end the pandemic. And so the narrative shifted to blame the unvaccinated. But this is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated. As all the scientific data and real-world experience shows us, it's just a pandemic. And no matter what we've done, the virus has spread. First, it was blame people who didn't want to close down their businesses, lose their jobs, or keep their kids out of school. Then it was blame the people refusing to wear masks. Then it was blame the unvaccinated. And now, in parts of the world, it's blame the under-vaccinated.
Okay, that was very short and it was very sweet. So, it's only information. And I hope that you see it as information and not as something else, right? Look, I've been saying it ever since, and I'll say it continuously. The best defense against anything is a strong offense. The best defense against anything is a strong offense. The best thing you can do to counteract anything that has to do with the virus is build your immune system. Fortify. And just make it like a wall that is bulletproof. Right? Make it like a wall that is soundproof. That way the virus can't go through. Take your immune enhancers. I don't care what it is as long as they're working for you. And protect yourself against all viruses. Be a healthy, be a healthier society. Be healthier. Just be more calm. It's funny, right? This coronavirus separated a lot of people from each other by death and by all sorts of things. And we went through a lot of the stuff with this so-called virus, so-called epidemic, right? Or pandemic, not epidemic, pandemic. And even to now, there's so many unanswered questions. So many unanswered questions regarding what happened and how and where and how it started and all sorts of things that we may never really, until some point, get the whole truth about what's happening here. But regardless of all of that, we need to, as a people, realize that viruses are going to be around all the time. We are not going to be around all the time. Viruses are going to be around all the time. While you're here, amongst the viruses, protect yourself all the time. Wash your hands. This pandemic season has taught us, most of us, a lot of things about our weakness. It has taught us a lot of things about our inability to lead. It has made us realize that most of us are followers and not leaders. It has made us realize that some of us had places that we were naming businesses and they were not businesses because they couldn't handle the onslaught of the virus. It caused some of us to change our careers. It made some of us broke. It has helped us to plan differently. I can name a lot of positives and a lot of things that this coronavirus situation has brought to us. And you know what? It has made some of us very lazy. Yes, it has. Because we got to the point where we became comfortable under the circumstances that we ended up with. And we don't want to change it anymore because we've gotten to like it. Some of you sit down home on your butts all day, do nothing. Some of you don't do anywhere to exercise. Some of you don't even, you can't wear the clothes you used to wear anymore. Some of you got like that. And there's some of us who became creative and created some things that are beyond the norm. So the virus has been good and has been bad. I'm going to take the call. You can take the calls. It's okay. So let us be thankful. Let's get busy. All right. We will take the calls. Good evening. Good evening. Speak up, please, into your phone. Maybe it was a wrong. But you can make your calls now. And, it's going to be okay. I hope it's not the same person just calling back. Okay. He doesn't realize that we have a nice program going on, so it's okay. It's alright. But you can make your calls and you can ask questions about anything that has to do with Christmas holiday, diseases, if you're, what to do about certain things. It's okay, right? But I want to also discuss the fact that after this Thanksgiving holiday, which some of us don't celebrate, there's gonna be other times when. Hold on a second here. Curtis, I'll call you back on my next program. Yeah, there are some of us who will not be able to come out of this. Some of us end up with psychological problems. You know, some of us end up in situations where uh, we've lost it, and some of us forgot that there's God. Yeah, some of us were made to remember that there's God because things happen that caused us to go on our knees so we can look up to Him again. This situation has caused many persons to forget that there's a church because the church is now held at home on video, on Skype, or on something else. You know, so we will never be the same again. We will not be the same again. And you need to understand that life has to go on. You know, you don't need to pack up in a corner and fold your hands and give up. Some of you have. I was made to understand that the suicide rate is very high in many places. Many persons have committed suicide. For what reason? We don't know. We may never know. But suicide is not the answer, my friend. You know, why would you want to do that? I mean, people say that suicide and psychological problems are real. I agree that they're real, but you don't fix a psychological problem by committing suicide. No, you don't fix a financial problem by committing suicide. You don't fix a love issue, a love problem, as you call it, love, by committing suicide. Unless you're Romeo and Juliet. If you're Romeo and Juliet, then, you know the movie Romeo and Juliet, right? Then woe be unto you. You know? Um, I just want to say that we need to somehow realize that life has to go on, regardless of what is happening. Has to go on. And the most important thing that you need to understand is that you made it. You're here. You made it. Right? You were able to go through the roughest times of whatever it is that you went through and you're here. And if you can make it that far, then why can't you go on? Why not? Some of you need to follow the rules. You know, some of you need to know that when you have an appointment at our clinic, if you can't make it, you call us. I can't make it back because I ain't get or I ain't got no money or I ain't ready yet or I'm feeling good enough so I don't need to come back or whatever. Right? Let us know that you're not going to make it back instead of having us keep people who need to see us from seeing us. And if by chance you have to pick up your medicines for a repeat or anything, you need to call and let them know there that I would like to get a repeat or, whatever it is, and what do I do? Communication, my friends. Very important. Very important. I read a book at one time that said, what to say to yourself when you talk to yourself. What to say to yourself when you talk to yourself. It's a very good book. And I learned a lot of things from that book, including talking to myself. My wife would say, and some other people would say, it's not when you talk to yourself, it's when you answer back. when you decide to answer back yourself. So, um, be careful what you say to yourself when you talk to yourself, right? Be careful. And don't answer back. Don't answer back. You don't have to talk out loud, okay? You can whisper because you're talking to yourself. Seriously, right? So you can whisper and you can say what you want to say to yourself in your thoughts, and then you could come out in your actions. Like many times I would talk to myself in my thoughts, and then I would write those things down. I'd write them down, and then I would allow them to manifest themselves physically when I'm ready to put them in place. Yeah, you can talk to yourself, but don't answer back yourself. Put it in action, right? The other thing is that there are people who you can't talk to them. They don't listen. They would not listen to your advice, even if it's to save their life. Some people like that. They're forever right about everything. They're not wrong about nothing. You can't teach nobody like that. No, if they know everything, what can you teach them? You know, nothing. I want to also spend some time sharing a few things with you about fasting. Right? This is a time when people are preparing to go into the season, the big season, Christmas season. Okay, and they didn't really achieve their objectives with their weights and all that. So there is still hope. Today is 1 month before Christmas Day. 1 month. Today is 1 month before Christmas Day. So you have 1 month that you could fast a little bit and throw off some weight. Seriously, you can go on a fruit fast. You can just decide that, look, uh, I want to eat some. I want to lose some weight if it's 10 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever it is, and I'm gonna choose a fruit fast or a vegetable fast or a water fast. Anyone or dry ones. When they say dry fast, it means that they're not drinking or eating anything. And when I'm talking about fasting, I'm not talking about missing a meal or not eating, not or eating breakfast, skipping lunch, and then eating dinner. No, not that. 24 hours. 24 hours. Where you would actually deny yourself of eating or drinking anything, whereby allowing your body system to go into itself and feed from itself. That happens. The first couple of days, you're gonna be in chaos because you're accustomed to eating and drinking, right? So your body is gonna be telling you better eat something because I'm hungry. You better drink something because I'm thirsty. And if you're weak, you can't make it. Many of you are weak. You can't fast. I can tell you that, right? But if you really want to lose some pounds before the holiday, go on to fast. Deny yourself of the foods and beverages that will cause you to put on excess weight and watch the weight fall, because what's going to happen is that the body will say, oh, really? Nothing coming? No food, no water, no juice, no drink? Wow, I better go into the reservoir and take something. And it's going to go into its reservoir, find the fat it needs, find the protein, find the carbohydrates, find the liquids, And you would be surprised to know that you can survive without anything for 10, 15, 20, 30 days. And guess what? As you utilize what is stored, so will the weight disappear. Right? As you utilize what is stored, the weight will go. It's like that. It will go. Yep. Because the body is designed like that. It will be okay. It's no problem. I just want to know that y'all are okay, that you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on moving. I just want to know that if you're in a wheelchair, that you can come out and walk. And I always tell this story whenever I talk about wheelchair and walking. Right? This is a true one. I was very small, and of course I grew up in Linden. And there was this preacher man, this guy, you used to call him the preacher man, who had he had crusade, right? This guy had a crusade. And we had to go far to this crusade. It was up on a hill called Richmond Hill. And the guy was on the top of the hill. He had a tent there, and there were several persons there, like seems like a couple of hundred at this crusade. And that night, when he was there, it was the night for miracles. It was a miracle night. And there were people who couldn't see, that were told, that they see again. Uh, people who were people who couldn't talk, that were talking again. People who were sick with different things that became well again. But there was this one person in a wheelchair who couldn't walk. And this person was called upon. Come forth. And the person was guided to the stage where the preacher man this is real stuff. The preacher man was healing everybody. And he was touched, he was touched. And apparently, if it's willpower or reflex or motivation or real miracle, the guy got out of the chair. And everybody was shocked because they knew that this man couldn't walk. So all eyes were on this guy. And the preacher man said, "Now turn around. Turn around." And he turned around. This guy turned around. And of course the preacher had him holding him, right? And the instructions came, move the chair. So he turned around and somebody moved the chair. And then the preacher man said, "Go forth and walk." The guy made 2 steps, and the next thing you know, he was rolling down the hill. Hey, man, I'm laughing, but it was so funny, right? I was small, and I watched this thing. I mean, it was like everybody was in shock because the guy walked 2 steps, and the next thing you know, he was down on the ground and just rolling down the hill. They had to go and pick him up and help him and so on. But you know what? I think that this is like Peter, right? This is like Jesus on the ocean. If you don't believe, if you lose, I really think that if you really believe, miracles can happen. But you cannot, for any moment, any spur of the moment, you cannot doubt. Maybe the person had this little doubt about the fact that I'm really walking, or I can't believe it. something happened, and then the two steps were okay, and then after that, boom, on the ground, rolling on me. So, you know, you have to have faith, and you have to believe. And you know what the funny thing is? When you're sick and you want to get well, if you don't believe you're gonna get well, you're gonna die. If you believe you're gonna die, most chances are you're gonna die. I'm telling you. If you believe that you're gonna get well, chances are you're gonna get well again, because healing first begins in the mind. It begins up here. Change begins here. Success begins here. Failure begins here. Suicide begins here. It begins in the mind. So whatever you want to achieve in life, once you're on the right path, once you've found the right purpose in your life, if you believe that you will achieve it, you will achieve it. You will achieve it if you believe and you just stay doing the right things. No, I don't want you to tell me that I believe I can win the lotto. A lot of people believe they can win the lotto. Plenty. I'm talking about I'm talking about realistic things. I mean, yeah, realistically, people can win the lotto, but I mean, it's such a big chance. One in so many millions or whatever. Right? So, here's the thing. The season is coming up on you. You have 1 month. 1 month. It can still happen. But you've got to believe that it can happen, and you've got to get out there and make it happen. It's not going to happen unless you go out and make it happen. No. You got to put the plan together and go out there and make it happen. I'm going to fast. And I'm going to lose an average of, realistically, 2.5 pounds a week, which is 10 pounds a month. And by Christmas, I can lose 10 pounds. Miss A, I can lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. I could. £10 in 2 weeks. Easy. 5 pounds a week. Less than 1 pound per day. When you sit down at the table, look at your food and weigh it and see how much it weighs. Many of you eat more than a pound of food at the table when you sit down. Many of you. Yeah. So if you want to achieve it, my friends, believe it. I don't care what it is. If it's your education, you want to achieve your degree, you want to get to the point where you can, start your own business, you want to find your job that is what you want in your career, you want to do it, just believe it. And I believe that if you really find your purpose in life, it's just a matter of staying the course. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I'm talking about anybody who is at the sound of my voice. I don't care how young you are, how old you are. Whatever you want in life, once you can really be realistic about it, and serious enough to be willing to do what it takes, in reality, I'm talking about good things, right? Not bad things. You can achieve it. Seriously. There's nothing that I put my mind to in this life that I didn't achieve yet. Nothing. I was determined to prove the purpose wrong. And every time I did it, I got the one that was wrong. Because once you put your mind, whatever the mind of man can perceive, listen to me what I'm telling you. Whatever the mind of man can perceive, with the right approach, with the right formulation, with the right formula, with God at the helm, you can achieve it. I don't care what it is. Anything. Even if you want to walk on water. Once you believe you can walk on water, I believe you can walk on water. Sounds funny, right? I believe so. Because if you believe in your mind that walking on that water is like walking on a rope or walking on a piece of glass where you're taking your time and you're just doing the right things, I believe that you're gonna just walk on that water. Don't try it though, unless you really believe you can do it. Right? Now, I would also use examples like, um, look, the fastest man in the world at this point, and he still is Usain Bolt, right? He was the fastest man, or is, by name and nature. Bolt. Like you say, lightning bolt, right? Usain Bolt. Okay? I want to ask any one of you a question. That's a man. A man. You think Usain Bolt is put on pants any different than you put on your own? You think Usain Bolt is put the shorts on any different than you put on your own? He put on a different kind than you, but he put on the shorts and the pants one leg at a time. The only difference between you and him is that he found his purpose. He decided to do what it takes to achieve it, and he did it. No other difference. He got the opportunities to do it, which is something that I would like to talk about at another time. Because we don't believe in sports, it seems like, in our country. We don't think that sports is something that can happen the way it can happen, like in many other countries. Right now, we should have been training people for the Olympics coming up. Big time. I believe that in Guyana, we have the fastest man or woman right in the world, just needing to be discovered. I believe so. I believe that we have the person in Guyana that can jump the high jump more than anybody else in the world. We just need to discover them. Yes, I believe in Guyana we can find a man or woman who can lift the heaviest weight on a bar than any other person in the world. We just got to be discovered, and we just have to put the things in place and get it done. Put the facilities in place. I also believe that we could get the fastest swimmer. Why am I saying that? I am saying that because those people who do those things and break those records are just like me and you. They're not foreign. They're not, they got wings and they got legs and arms just like you and I. I also believe that if my operator, and I'm gonna call his name, had the opportunity to go when she was in her prime, to do what she was born to do at that time, she would have had gold. Because based on what I saw in pictures I see, she was awesome, man. She probably could have beat me now if I had allowed her. I gotta allow her to beat me. She can't beat me, so. Even now, I think I can beat. I would have to allow her to beat me. But she fast, though. She fast. Like, watch her moving, right? But the point I want to make is, we have talent and we have raw talent in our country, but we don't develop the talent. I'm hoping that some people will come together and change that. For the sake of those who are destined and born to be winners. Not only in athletics, but in many other things. I believe that people just need to be identified, to be guided, and to have the opportunity. Yeah. I also believe that I got one of the best IT persons in the world working with me right there. Seriously, because anything I want IT, I call him Oliver and he's do it. I'm not talking because I'm boasting about him. I'm telling you because it's real. And he's self-taught. That's the other thing. He's self-taught. Nobody didn't teach you anything. You teach yourself. Right? We're going to continue this subject another time. Seriously, because I know we can, we can make some good strides with that. But I want to thank you for listening. I want to really, I want to really, I want to really, I gotta laugh because she sent me a text and told me I'm gonna start jogging. I'm gonna start jogging. I want she know that I just be jogging and I be doing me push-ups and everything. And I know she ain't doing no push-ups. I know she ain't doing no push-ups. She must be jogging, right? But okay, I can start jogging, right? I'm gonna prepare for you. I'm gonna prepare for you. I want to know what is your fastest time. That's all I want. It's like this is I'm gonna end on this note, right? Listen, you want to run faster than Usain Bolt? Put this time on the wall. Just put it everywhere wherever you dwell. Put this time. 100 meters, 9 seconds. Put it all around the room. I want to make 100 meters in 9 seconds. I want to do it. Just put it in your room. Put it on your pillow. Put it wherever you sit on it. And then guess what? If you can perceive that in your mind, if you can see yourself running 100 meters in 9 seconds, you're going to be motivated because there's a gold medal out there and there are millions of dollars out there. And trust me, if you got the right structure going and the right people behind you, the millions are going to be yours because you're going to break that record. It can happen. Whatever the mind of man can perceive, he can achieve. That's a fact. All right? So, on that note, I want to thank you for participating. I want to encourage you to keep going. And I want to remind you that there's life after the holidays. Until we meet again, I'll remain saying good night. God bless you. So long.
Looking for a place?
Boris Johnson has just announced.
Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.